On the Range podcast. On the Range.
Hello again, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of On the Range podcast with War HOGG Tactical and Kelley Defense. I am Mark Kelley, and as always, I am joined by my co-host and friend, Rick Hogg. How's it going, buddy?
Man, Mark, it's going great. Hey, guys, I want to thank you for giving me your most precious time, or giving your most precious commodity, your time to tune in. There we go, getting all tongue twisted. Appreciate it, guys. Hey, do me a huge favor. Swing by our websites, warhogg.com, kelleydefense.com. Sign up for those newsletters. Trust me, we will not inundate you. So speaking of newsletters, I know I launched one out. I think you launched out two, Mark, letting everyone that signed up know, hey, man, we've got a 7-day free trial to the OTR Patreon crew, which, oh, by the way, we're doing a Zoom call tomorrow. So our interactive bi-monthly Zoom call going up tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So again, it just kind of gives you away. We want to try to set you guys up for success when it comes to this free trial, right? So you might join during a window where, hey, 14 you get that call. Now with the 7 days, and that was on Patreon side, kind of trim you down. So we want to give you that heads up. So if you do want to see what it's about, 100+ training videos, shooting challenges, all kinds of stuff going on in there. So just become better, make yourself 1% better, but become a crew member, at least see what it's all about. Try that free 7-day trial. And oh, by the way, Zoom call tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That would be August 22nd. So, buddy.
Yeah. You know, the good thing about those shooting challenges, this last one was we did something a little bit different. We went with, had to be below a 4-inch barrel. Was it a 4-inch barrel?
Mm-hmm.
Had to be below that. And it had to be a handgun. We did let some of the folks, in other countries that had some restrictions to modify that a little bit, but it was 25 yards, a B8 bull, and you had 10 shots and you had 10 minutes to do it. And Rick went with a family heirloom, and I went with the modern handgun. So I had a heck of a lot easier time than Rick did. But you want to tell them about your firearm that you went with?
Yeah. So War HOGG family heirloom, 22 short, Colt Derringer, single shot, right? At 25. Yeah. So it briefs well. It's like, hey, man, a tool's a tool. Well, that's great till you don't have any real rear sights on there. And oh, by the way, when you cock the hammer, that hammer's kind of blocking that front sight post, and you're kind of doing guessing. And yeah, long story short, so we kind of shot it, and all the patrons saw. So we did some good GoPro, hey, talking about, hey, here's the pistol, yada, yada, yada. Stuck the phone up there, got some speed mode going. There's me all struggling through, and walk away with the blistering 8. So
yeah,
not the best showing, but hey, that's kind of what we do. And it was funny, Mark, because you're talking about, other countries that have restrictions. So for our UK patrons, right? They're like, hey, what can we do? You know what? Shoot that bad boy. Shoot your airsoft, 25 meters. Let's see how it goes, And it was awesome because we had one of our patrons. He shot it at his house. You guys have ever been to the UK, they don't have the biggest backyards, or as they refer to, gardens. And literally he was shooting through the house to try to hit his 25, which was awesome. I mean, it was absolutely fantastic. It's just time and just, hey, man, out there chatting about stuff. And that's the whole thing with the crew, right? It is that. It's a crew. Guys talking, they're doing sidebar stuff on their own besides our bi-monthlies. These were questions. We have some great questions, man. And it's just a way that you've got a like-minded community that's looking to become 1% better every single day. And it's just not in the shooting, right? So yes, we are On the Range podcast. Yes, we talk a lot about firearms and stuff like that, but it's just not that. We talk about life. We talk about hobbies. We talk about all kinds of stuff. And then, oh, by the way, kind of open up the end of those sessions to the patrons. Hey, man, you guys got anything? Sometimes they do. Sometimes they don't. I think we dug in deep in a couple calls back deep into the question mailbag. And, man, these guys pulled out some good ones. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
They put a lot of thought behind it, and it was a lot of fun. And I tell you, on those shooting challenges, sometimes you got to pull up your skirt a little bit. You get a little exposed there, but man, it was fun, and everybody has a blast. And we take everybody's input, see what they want to do. Hey, they're like, hey, let's do something with the shorties, and I was like, all right, let's do it, man. Yeah,
Had
it's
I
a lot of fun.
had I been a wise man, I done a modern day something that had a set of lights in there at least. But hey, you know what? We might circle back to it, and we'll swap that handgun. We'll leave the room for an
Yeah, that one will definitely come up again, and I'm sure you'll choose a little bit wiser next time.
Yeah, part of it, but see, here's the thing, guys, right? So part of it was just going, hey, man, let's give it a shake. Never really pushed any distance from it. Said, all right, yeah. Never really shot it that much. Like, yeah, probably should have blew off a little bit of dust there and go, got no rear sights. So, all right, man. Anyway.
Definitely learned that platform's limitations that day, I'll tell you.
Woo. Yeah, well, you're not pulling out freaking Derringer at 25 and trying to make some shots. Just put it that way. At least not that one. So,
and with the 22 short, you're not even going to scare anybody. It's like it's not going to make a big. Did it make a pretty big bang?
Not really. I mean, nothing crazier than. I mean, still wore Air Pro. I'm not going to go out there. I'm trying to preserve what little I got.
Oh
but,
no, right.
Nothing. Little less than a regular long rifle. Because it is short. It's like, okay, cool.
Yeah, that was awesome. Great video. Yeah, and again, you know what? You get that free trial. You have complete access to our entire video training catalog with the membership. So the free trial membership. Yeah. So go check it out. There's no reason not to join in and visit the video call. As soon as you log into that and you sign up for the free trial, I'm going to shoot you a link to the video call tomorrow. So go ahead and check that out. Again, the Firearms Training Notebook is the sponsor of this episode. 1% Better Every Day by War HOGG Tactical and Kelley Defense. You can go to the website. You can buy yourself an autographed copy, have it shipped right to you, or you can go to Amazon. They do a real nice job of printing it and sending it right to your house very quickly. And we still got the same price point. They raised the price of printing, but we kept the price point the same. We want get these into everybody's hands that we can. We got some events we're going to talk about here in a few minutes that we're going to do that as well. And also big shout out to our friends over at Hoist. drinkhoist.com. IV level hydration. I got the watermelon right there. They're really helping us with the events we got coming up that we're going to talk about here in a minute, just like I said. So Miss Rachel, Miss Allie, and the ownership and the other team members over there at Hoist doing great stuff, and super company. And hands down, I think a great product, but the best tasting electrolyte drink I've ever had. By far. It's not even close. Not even close. So big thanks to Hoist. So
here's the thing. I gotta throw some bones to Hoist here, right? When we first kind of started this whole chatting partnership down the road, I was a little skeptical, right? I'm like, really? But again, once you get this product in your hand, and here's the thing, there's days when you're out there running the range, you just don't drink enough, right? There's days where you're like, man, I haven't used the bathroom all day. And you suck one of them things down, and it's like, boom, instant, hydration right back to you. If you guys look at it, there is sugar in there, right? That was kind of one of my concerns. Hey, what's up? But when they started explaining how this thing is broken down and why you need the sugars for absorptions and everything else, I'm like, cool, got it. And trust me, I'm doing it no justice. I can't remember when we had Allie on the show. Did she explain all that? Do you remember?
She went into it a little bit. Yeah, she did a heck of a lot better job than I do. I can tell you that. She's real sharp, knows about it. It's great. Great product.
So if you sit there and scroll through, we had Allie on the show, and she spoke more intelligently than I will. I will just give you guys the knuckle dragger approach, right? Drink it. It'll hydrate you. You'll feel good. And I mean, we've had it where, let's be an honest broker, Mark, right? We don't adjust our schedules because of the weather. Then we're out sweating. And you see them kind of dragging, and it's like, hey man, get you one of them hoists. And as soon as they do, it's like, poof, spruce up. So,
yeah. And you can tell when people start to dragging, and man, you suck one of these down, and 10 minutes later, they are right back in the game. It's just a great product. It's just awesome. battlefield tested and warfighter approved. So go check them out at drinkhoist.com. I tell you what, buddy, let's go ahead and get into this. We got a lot of stuff to talk. Oh, go ahead.
Hey, no, they can use code OTR10, even 10%, I believe it is.
Dude, good catch on that. Yep. OTR. I think, is it OTR 10? Yeah, I think you're right.
OTR 10.
Yep. Regardless, if you go to the website, you can see in our industry partners, they're one of the top ones in there all the time.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
buddy.
Take advantage of that promo code. So anyway, let's go ahead and let's get started.
On the range.
So we got some updates to do. I love that on the range. You know who that is? That's me. I YouTubed it and man, I was all over it. How do I make a Darth Vader voice? Boom. It was all over it. So anyway, we've had the last month, we have been turning and burning with classes, travel, events. You've been raising money for your foundations. It's just been nuts. We've had some private classes. We've done a lot of a couple of shows. We had some travel, some personal travel in there. Just been crazy. We just got done with each of us had some classes last couple of weeks. Now we got coming up on really the main focus of our law enforcement military stuff. It seems to come in the early fall and kind of bleeds into towards the end of the year. And we're super excited about it. This time, I got to give you all the credit on this one, Rick. This was your idea to go ahead and start, piggybacking on this stuff and start giving some LEOs and some military cats and girls who are canine involved as well, the opportunity, since you're going to be at the conference, let's put together a couple of patrol rifle / a performance on demand rifle, whatever, in front of that. So we got 2 classes coming up. Why don't you go ahead and elaborate on that a little bit?
Yeah. So September 21st and 23rd. So that is right before the American Tactical Canine Association 2023 annual conference in Muscatatuck, Indiana, which you're going to go, where's Muscatatuck? Butlerville, Indiana, right? So if you kind of if you're looking at Google Maps, you hit Butlerville and looking to try to throw these guys a bone, right? It's a 5-day packed conference. Not everyone can get all the training, all the training they're looking for. Yes, we focus primarily on one-handed shooting for the canine officer because everyone's got a hand, right? But guys, hey man, why don't you do rifle? Well, I don't know how many cats have rifles, right? So what we opted to do was offer that Thursday and Saturday, and it's just giving these a chance, travel a day or two early, come down, work with your rifle, and boom, there you go. We've got some other local municipalities that are involved as well, so it kind of helped that piece out. But we still got a couple slots open for those, and we reserved them. It's not an open enrollment civilian; it's for mil LE only. So you guys are be with like-minded people there. So it's all good if we have discussions, do whatever. Hey man, you're not worried about Johnny Civilian or anything like that. No big deal. But we can leave our skins wayside because then following the conference on Saturday, September 30th, we've got an open enrollment pistol, and that's in West Elkin, Ohio. So at the Mad Duck Training Facility, old John there, he does a great job, greatest. So we're over there. So we're trying to balance both, right? We kind of front loaded our LEOs because we know, hey man, if we try to backside it, these guys want to get home, right? We had, if you think about it, the last conference we were at, we had them capped from Knoxville. They had to bolt out midday.
I know.
Because they had to get back on shift. I'm like, good God, man, you're sending you guys to training. You can't work your calendar a little better. So it just didn't make sense to backload it. So we're like, hey, let's try to front load it. And because let's be an honest broker, man, that Friday hits and guys got to be to the 4 winds. Some guys are working the next day. And, sergeant, lieutenant, whatever, you've had 5 days off. No, dude, I've been training for 5 days. It's like, but boy, but that was kind of what, trying to, whenever we're doing law enforcement events, how can we piggyback something else on there to just help out more people since we're being in the area? So just only made sense. Yeah. Let's throw that in there and boom. So
yeah, big shout out to the Jennings County sheriff out there for kind of spearheading that and hosting it. So big thanks to him. And you're right about the training. We try to accommodate some of these men and women in blue who come to our trainings and see if we can help them out by pushing them forward, maybe pushing them back, maybe swapping out with a guy to make it so they don't have to run out of there, or that they can make the training. Because our class has seemed to, this is going to be our third year, has seemed to been one of the more popular ones, and we're very grateful for that. We're really refining that program for the K-9 officers as well, and it's a big hit. Dutch is going to be out there. His class is always a big draw as well. And looking forward to that. But, that's another thing too. LEOs, if you need to, and you need to work with your agencies, or agencies have some questions, just tell them to direct them to the websites and just go ahead and send us a DM, or even go to our IG and send us a DM. We will get back with them, and we'll do whatever we can. We've arranged for equipment, for ammo, and not so much transportation, but we've actually some folks from across the pond, as they say, we've hooked them up with Firearms to help let them, they were just there to watch. No, baby. Yeah. We dug into the bags and we got them training, and they were great. They were great. So yeah, we do a lot as much as we can. And, it's because we appreciate so much what they do and we want to help them out. So we're really looking forward to that, but that's coming up. I'm really looking forward to the open enrollment. Guys and gals, Southern Ohio, the tri-state area, Indiana, Kentucky, there's plenty of spots left for that. But once it gets out, I'm telling you, they're going to fill up. They always do when Rick and I do a collab, and it's open enrollment. So go to the website. Actually, I think that one is on kelleydefense.com. Go to kelleydefense.com and sign up for that. And let's go ahead and do it. Even if you go to warhog.com, I think there's a link that'll shoot you to so you can
there's a link.
Enroll.
Yeah. Yep.
So yeah, go to one of the websites, click on that September open enrollment performance pistol, and enroll and get that in there. So yeah, man.
Yeah.
Looking forward to that. It's going to be a great couple of weeks.
Yep. And let me hit on a couple of things too, Mark, right? So again, people are always wondering, hey man, what am I getting? Right? Come to your course. What are we getting? And we've kind of retweaked some verbiage with the pistol stuff. So at first it was kind of, hey, let's keep it plain Jane, just War HOGG pistol, right? Okay. People weren't, man, what's that mean? Read the description. So we've kind of tweaked the name some, right? You'll either hear it referred to as War HOGG Performance Pistol, or you'll hear it referred to as War HOGG Performance on Demand Pistol. All right, both the same thing. Here's the thing. Why is it Performance on Demand? Because again, using our sponsor for this episode, the Firearms Training Notebook, it's all about getting data in there. And all of our classes, the Firearms Training Notebook is incorporated throughout. And you're going to go, well, what's this notebook? Well, especially for my K9 guys, right? You'll have all these logbooks and notebooks and training records for your dog. Where's yours as the human being? And you don't have to be, military law enforcement, right? For the civilian, if you think about it, last time you went to the range or last time you did your dry fire session, what were you doing? Did you have a plan? What are your numbers? And this is the whole intent behind the Firearms Training Notebook, is to get data in there so that you have a solid plan to develop either your live or dry fire training, whatever you're doing. And then, oh, by the way, we're going to help you out, because I used to just do, hey man, the War HOGG self-eval is in there a couple times, right? Would start the class, shoot the War HOGG self-eval. I'm like, man, we're cheating these guys. Hey, let's get done a drill. Boom. Let's pull the pro timer out. Performance on demand. Boom. Right? It's just getting you more data. And that's the whole thing. Because the whole intent with the Firearms Training Notebook is now a lot of guys will go to training and then they don't do nothing else once they leave. There's your homework, right? You can start getting your dry fire plan. You can plan your live fire whenever that next live fire session is. And boom, you're going to see that incremental change to becoming 1% better every single day. But the key part is you've got to put the work in, right? The book's not going to magically, populate numbers. Your skill is not going to populate there. You have to put the work in. And I would tell you guys this would be my second recommendation. Notebook's number one. Second choice, get your pro timer, right? Get a way that you can sit there and get those tangibles, retrieve that data, put it in your book, and go on crushing 1% better every single day.
Yeah. If you don't measure that task, then you can't track it. You can't. You have to measure that task.
Yeah. You're guessing. I mean, think about it, Mark. We've all been at the range, right? Whew, that rep felt fast, right? Man, that felt good. And you look at the timer, you're like, all right.
Yeah.
The timer don't lie. It's kind of like the camera. One eye doesn't lie. You should be incorporating that in your training as well, right? So we all got a phone. So
Yeah.
you got the camera there, no excuse. So
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. So super looking forward to that. And
Mhm.
yeah, and then the September 30th. And then after that, you're going to be on the road later. Maybe we'll save that for another. I think that, I don't think you're going to be anything. You're actually going to be in Ohio prior to that.
Yep.
But
So I'm in Ohio.
Yeah.
I think it's 8 through 10 at the Ohio Range Day, and that's with Rick over to Kelley's Tactical. So
Yeah.
asked me to come up there do some teaching there. So we're going to teach that. It'll be 2 days of 2 one-day blocks of the War HOGG Performance Pistol or Performance on Demand Pistol, whichever way you want to look at it, doesn't matter, both the same. For those of you attending, I've sent out an email. Hey, if you're on day 1 or day 2, you should know which one. And then, oh, by the way, there's a link on the website at warhog.com. It's got your packing list, what you need, all that stuff. Pretty bare bones basic, right? We don't ask for a whole bunch, but I'll just tell you this. I don't know what the weather's going to be, so pack accordingly. We train in the rain.
Yeah. I don't think we're going to get as lucky as we did last year, but I'm going to pray for it because last year was absolutely unbelievable in September here in Ohio. So hopefully we get some more of the same. But
year before was like on the face of the sun.
Not so
man.
much.
Brutal.
Oh my gosh.
Brutal.
Oh,
but
terrible.
But again, this is part of the, what makes things tolerable is having companies that back us like Hoist sitting there providing hydration for these guys. They weren't expecting it. They weren't, it's like, hey man, grab you some drinks. What? We can have some of those? Yeah. And then, oh, by the way, I let the cat out the bag. We got somebody else that likes to offer gifts too, but you got to be a winner. Yes, there are shooting challenges in there. You might walk away with a brand new set of Oakley SI glasses. Poof. Law enforcement's favorite.
Hydration, training, and gifts, prizes for winners, dude.
Yeah, man. Pays to be a winner. I hate to say I stole it from the Navy, but yeah, they got that good saying it pays to be a winner. Yes, it does. So
yeah, these cops and mill guys, man, you set those boxes, just sit them on the hood of the truck or on the tailgate, and just leave them there. Eventually, one of those kids are going to be like, "Hey, what's that?"
Could be anyone's. That's the beauty
it's
with
up
it, right?
for grabs. That's the beauty of it.
Yeah. Right now
so
you're all wearing Oakleys up until you jag them shots and start going.
All right. We got a couple other things we want to talk about.
All the Range Podcast.
We had a conversation today, and we like to poke fun at ourselves, which is always great. But the fact of the matter is, some of the things that you can do is going to make you stand out from a lot of other folks, just simply because nobody else is willing to put in the work. And we talk about this all the time in the crew, and that's a great international group, and they get it. They have their stories of success, and some of them are coaches in sports and skiing and all kinds of stuff, shooting. And they'll say the same kind of things, and we'll talk about it, and we kind of tell them how we feel about it, and we've learned a lot from them as well. So the crew's great. But anyway, tell them about our conversation today, because I know you've been doing a lot of putting a lot of miles in and putting out those videos and start the day at Monday Funday was great.
Yeah.
God, people lifting weights, man. There's some
dangerous.
There's some. I know. It's always those Olympic lifts, though, isn't it?
Oh yeah, never fails. Bars over the head. Hey, didn't really have good footing. Slips back. Clips the rack. Next thing you know, it's on your neck. It's like, oh no. But we were chatting about. So here's the whole thing, right? Started doing these little running videos just to try to throw the IG algorithm off, right? Which, oh, by the way, their artificial intelligence isn't so intelligent, but we'll save that story for another time. Just hoping to grab something. And, the conversation we were having is, here's the thing. That's if you want to say warm up, my cardio prior to actually doing my lifting weights, right? That's what I care about. I care about lifting. Keep myself stronger, I used to have this old analogy when I was in the Army, because I'm not a super big fan of running. Hey man, cardio's for cowards, right? Hey man, if I can't run, I can't run away nowhere. So I got to stand here and fight. But no, I mean, get out there, get a little bit of cardio, right? Get the sweat going. Because I'm telling you, man, there's, at least for me, right? So I used to be more of a lunchtime type guy, right? This was when I'd go sit there, go work out. Obviously here in the summer in North Carolina, it's like being on the face of the sun. Sometimes just wrecking you. So we started kind of, hey man, let's get up early. Let's beat the sun up, which I've always been, hey, let's get up early. Let's go put some miles on the road. Since I'm out there, man, let's take this stupid phone and, I'm not doing a David Goggins all, hey man, I'm just kind of giving you a quick little rundown. Here's what's up. Of course, IG didn't like that and not really getting anything out of it. But that's here nor there. But the point we were having was, here's the thing. I'm not out doing 20, 40, 50 ultra, marathon runs, dude. I'm just doing my morning run just to warm up, get the sweat going, get ready for my, my workout. Right. But our conversation was something like, hey man, if you think about it, what are people actually doing to put the work in? How many people are actually out there on the road doing something? And when you look at it, there's not a whole bunch, right? This whole analogy of being 1% better every single day, it's just not in the shooting aspect. It's the fitness, finance, spiritual, family. It's all encompassing. So if you sit there and, am I trying to increase my distance? Not really. I'm not going to lie, right? That's not my priority when it comes to my running. What my priority is, hey man, when I get back to the house, to the War HOGG Combat Training Center, that's where I want to put my money. That's where I want my gains, right?
Yeah.
That for me personally, that's my gain spot. I want to make myself incrementally better. So we go out, we put our miles on the road, we come back, and I've already got my plan laid out, right? I got my little magnetic dry erase board, got all my, hey man, this is what we're doing for today's workout. And then boom, visually right there so I can see everything. Because let's be an honest broker, man. Sometimes with my TBI, what's I supposed to do? Huh? It's all right there. No issues. But the key part is we're still making notes of, hey, what we're doing, because I want to get that incremental improvement. And again, change it up. I'm just not doing back and buys. What's it? Chest and tries, dude. It's pretty much all body pretty much every day, right? We got some little things we work on here and there and stuff like that. We might do pull-ups off the bar one day. We might do pull-ups off the little, I got those rock climbing kind of finger type grasp things. We might do some off of that. I mean, whatever we're doing, TRX, we've got all kinds of different stuff. Yeah, we got weights. I mean, sandbags, all kinds of crap, right? And here's the beauty. You don't have to spend a lot of money. You can get stuff for cheap, especially around the first of the year, because all these cats want to make these New Year's resolutions. Oh, man, this is the year I'm getting fit. Well, you know what? Come the end of the month, 2 months, they're selling crap like crazy. Dude, I got me a freaking 45-pound kettlebell, $20. I'll take it all day long, all day.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I'm not a fan of that whole, well, I'll start tomorrow. Nope. Start today. If you got the ability, if you want to do something, you want to make change, start today. But that was the whole point of just, man, I don't know what my mileage is, but even if I'm doing, let's just say I put a mile in every day, right? Let's think about this, guys, right? If I were to do a mile every day and I just ran 5 days a week, 5 miles, even if I ran 3 miles a week, how many other people are running 3, 5, 10, whatever the mileage is, right? They're not. People aren't doing nothing. We've turned into a very lazy society. Well, the problem is you're going to sit there as you start, let's say, getting more, what's the word I'm looking for? As you get more experienced with life, right?
Yeah.
Let's just say your body doesn't always want to agree with you. And especially even sitting there, not eating well, right? If you sit there and smash McDonald's every single day, you're just dumping poison into your system. But you got to get out there. You got to stay after it. You got to take care of yourself. And here's the thing. If you slipped off the whacking, you got a couple extra pounds, dude, start eating healthy. Step number 1, start putting some miles on the road, lifting some weights, dude, you'll dump that stuff, right? But look for incremental changes. And that was really our whole driving conversation, was just how many people out there are doing anything cardio? It doesn't have to be running, right? If you want to go swim, you want to go bike, you want to go, because I got a rower as well, right? Haven't quite figured that one out yet. I might try to, because here's the bottom line. I don't want to spend a lot of time setting up a freaking tripod. Is that the right angle? Do I got the right lighting? Dude, I just grabbed the phone. Hey, man. And we're not even doing War HOGG Tactical, right? If you notice my verbiage, I changed the tactical, right? We're trying to take everything and make it IG clean. Just piss on that, man. You know, I'm tired. Yeah, I do the website, warhogg.com, which, yeah, okay, that's our website. But I'm not going to change for them. But then again, I'm not going to put a whole bunch of effort into that because the return on investment, as we've seen with War HOGG Tactical, isn't there. So try to throw something out there for you guys. I've had people come back and say, hey, man, thanks for that. Motivated me. Roger that. Just get out there and get after it. So you guys have got to do it yourself, man.
Yeah. And it's not only the fitness side or the training side. It's just anything in general. I mean, do something extraordinary. Everybody's, you know, they get these day jobs and they kind of just slide into these lives where they get into this routine and they just don't break out of that at all when it doesn't take a whole lot of time. It doesn't take a whole lot of time at all. I mean, just think about it. How good would you be at anything if you did 15, 20, 30 minutes a day at it every day practicing? And I don't care if it's an instrument. I don't care if it's writing or sketching. How good would you be in a year compared to everybody else who hasn't done anything? You'd be really good at it.
You'd be awesome.
You'd be awesome.
Yeah.
And pick something great. Pick something that you can do great. I don't care if it's starting a little business on the side, just to do something, get your mind working, do something to take advantage of this life that we have, this one life that we have. Are we ever going to exceed anything if we don't even take that first step? No. Nope.
No.
Not going to accomplish anything.
No. And here's the thing, right? Don't be afraid to fail.
Yep.
You can't sit there and be afraid to fail. And I think the best example we had of this was we had one of our students last ATK9, right?
Yeah, he was last time. Yep.
Yeah. He's like, I can't miss. In training, yes, you can. You have to. That's the only way you're going to get better. Because if you never miss, you're not challenging yourself. You're not making yourself any better. Now, granted, if you're going to start up a business, okay, you're going to do some gains versus reward. Yeah. There might be times where, hey, things happen. Have I had failure at War HOGG Tactical? Hell yeah, I have. I've had a lot. Have I learned from them? You're damn right I have. Right? So let's use the social aspect, for example. Dude, we put 4.5 years in trying to build War HOGG Tactical. That's a lot of time, effort, just wasted answering, doing this, doing that, right? And I'm not saying answering people's messages is a waste of time, but the waste of time is this. As soon as that page goes, you have no access. So all those people that you were interacting with, gone, right? Like, so that's why I'm not a super big fan of interacting on social, because, dude, if they pull the plug, if you get zucked, dude, all that stuff's gone. It's like, hey, man, because it was funny because I was looking for an email today, as a matter of fact. And I was like, oh, yeah, that's right. We were talking on IG. We weren't emailing. And all that stuff's gone, right? We've had some business deals, just didn't pan out. A lot of wasted time there, right? It's going to happen. Things are going to happen. Did I learn from all that? Yeah, 100%. And really, that's where the whole push for the crew and everything else. And it's going, hey, man, we control the websites. We control the podcast. We control, the patrons. We don't control the patrons, but the people that join, right? And we're not worried about what we're saying. We speak freely. But when you're sitting there on IG, you got to almost be fake because you can't say words. Hey, man, my company's War HOGG Tactical. We are registered with the state of North Carolina. Go look it up. Bam, there it is. Well, Zuck don't like that, right? So now you got to be this fake person. And then half the time you look on social, it's all fakeness because you can put whatever you want on there, right? You can tweak it. It was funny. I saw some dude, some big fitness model. I don't remember her name. Dude, he busted her because she posted 2 back-to-back stories. One was kind of the regular pic. The other one was photo edited. It's like, oh, same thing. And going back and forth going, come on, man. So guys, don't get wrapped around that crap. And really, truth be told, the only reason I'm there, it's a marketing tool. It's a poor one at best, right? It's a manipulated one at best. If I was trying to sell you my OnlyFans page, I'd be crushing it, right? If I was trying to sell kids on there, I'd be crushing it. But you want to sit there and make people better, or God forbid you flash a firearm or something like that, right? Their AI ain't that bright. Dude, I had one for remember everyone, Red Friday. Remember everyone deployed on Friday.
Yeah.
It's a little bird, no weapons.
Yeah.
It's not an attack model dummy, But hey.
Oh, did they say something to you about that?
Oh, dude, yeah, so yeah. The War HOGG page is like triple ban, nobody can see, get all these messages. It's like, yeah. I think the only one that's safe, believe it or not, is On the Range podcast. That one they're still supposed to run clean, but dude, we can't get growth out of that thing either.
No.
I don't get it, man.
Yeah.
One comes in, 3 goes out the back door.
Yeah. And then it didn't take us long to realize anyway that, the big piece of it is to focus on those who are really interested in our services. Number one.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, those who really enjoy our content. Number three. And then, let me flip that. The number one is the patrons. Number one is the patrons and those who sign up for our newsletters, those.
Yep.
Then it's those who are interested in our service. Then it's those who want to enjoy our content. And other than that, if it's not any organic as that, if it's less than that, then like you said, you want to reach out and get some reach and try to draw some more folks in. But how much time are you going to do on that when you have a lot of responsibility and a lot of work that you can do for those who are supporting us and especially the first responders and the foundations and the projects we're working on. So, and let's go ahead and mention that before we get ready to close this up. Let's mention that very important project.
On the Range.
This is your brainchild. And it's starting to get some feet and some legs now, and super, super proud of it. I think that a lot of this is under the banner, the couple classes we have coming up, the Project Officer Survival banner. Why don't you go ahead and talk about that? Because now, we have locations where you can donate, and we also have a page that you can follow on IG.
Yeah. So Project Officer Survival, the key thing there is we've partnered with 2 nonprofits. First one is the Protectors Foundation. So you can go to the protectorsfoundation.org. You can donate to them. That is specifically set up. So Jason Piccolo set that up with the whole intent of basically working this Project Officer Survival 1, but then 2, having kind of this kitty where if there's other organizations or other agencies that need something, right? So it may not be a training thing, might be an equipment thing, might be whatever, be able to fund that. But here's the beauty, guys, right? Any donations to the Protectors Foundation, it is all tax deductible. So when we're looking at it from the corporate standpoint, and I've chatted with a lot of people, industry partners and stuff like that. Look at, I don't want your marketing dollars, right? I want your corporate dollars to donate there, and then in turn you'll get a tax deductible receipt back to your company. But what we wanted to do was offer basically free firearms training to these law enforcement officers.
Yeah,
and we've done it before, right? So we've done it where we were basically forking the bill, and that works great. But at the end of the day, that's not putting food on the table, and everything. You're basically coming out of it in the hole, because you're having to sit there and pay for targets and do all this other stuff. Now, granted, we've had some industry partners, Grizzly Targets. They've been with us from the get-go as far as providing the steel we use. Brute Force has been providing the sandbags that we use for shooting on physical duress. Oakley's been there, sitting there, giving us iPro for the winters. We've had Hoist on board, keeping these guys hydrated. We had Killcliff in there, sitting there kind of giving these guys some good, clean energy. So we've had some good industry partners as far as that goes. We want to expand this thing out as much as we can. We want to get as much reach. And with that expansion, here's the other part. So Spikes Canine, if you don't know about them, make sure you go check out spikescanine.org. But Spikes jumped on board specifically because they're doing canine officer stuff, and we're doing one-handed shooting for the canine officer via Spikes. So if you want to donate via Spikes Canine, you can do that as well. Just put a note on there, War HOGG Tactical, so they know where to kind of push that money. But that's the whole thing, is we want to give back to these guys to give them the maximum amount of survivability out there in the street. And then, oh, by the way, the Firearms Training Notebook is incorporated in all of it, because we want these guys to have a tool that, hey, it's one thing to go to a training event. Great. Now we put the burden on these guys. And we just ask them, here's all I'm looking for. If you can give me 3 days a week for 5 minutes a day, right? 15 minutes out of your week just to do some dry fire training, it's going to greatly enhance your survivability. And personally for me, and for you, I mean, we're very much tied to the law enforcement community. We've got a vested interest in this. And we just want to see, we don't want to see another one of these officers, get killed in the line of duty. No way. I forget the numbers. I think there's 200 as of August 1st. I think it was like 231 officer involved shootings, right? Or where officers have been shot. No way, dude. Too many. So we want to sit there and give these guys the maximum amount of survivability so they can be as efficient, as effective with their firearms, stop that threat, and, oh, by the way, come home with their family. The last piece with the Project Officer Survival, I basically give these officers, hey, man, I back the people I train. God forbid you're in that deadly force encounter. God forbid you had to fight for your life. And then in turn, you've got one of these slack-ass DAs that want to sit there and slap some charges on you. Here's all I ask. Just show me all your footage. Let me see your report. If I sit there and go, it's good, I will testify for you. I back the people I train. And I've challenged the chiefs of America, back your people, right? Now, granted, there's some cases where, hey, man, it's clear cut. Hey, dude, you screwed up. 9 times out of 10, these guys are screwing up because of lack of training, right? It's not so much the officer made some gross, negligent error. It's typically lack of training. And we want to sit there and hopefully remove that via the training we're doing. If anyone's looking for training out there as far as agencies, reach out, warhog.com, kellydefense.com. Bam. We can easily coordinate. If in turn, get you hooked up with either Spikes or the Protectors Foundation, hey, man, we'll figure something out to get you guys training. But, man, do not let dollars be a deterrent for why you're not training your people. So,
yeah, we've done multiple classes for entire law enforcement agents, their training staffs. We've done a bunch of guys bringing several different departments in. We reach out to the departments that, don't have a very large training budget. All those type of scenarios, reach out to us and let us know, and we'll do everything we can to get you guys and girls and all your people some quality training at little to no cost for the law enforcement officers themselves. We're gonna try to do our best. So
yeah, buddy.
Anyway, great show today, buddy. Super excited about the American Tactical Canine. We're going to be out there. We'll make some more announcements if there's any public appearances. I know we have an opportunity to maybe do a public appearance somewhere in this area because you're going to be here a little bit longer this time, and we may take advantage of that. I know we talked about it. That'll kind of shake out pretty quickly, but I think we'll know if we're going to be able to make that happen or not. Maybe at the beginning of the week prior to the American Tactical Canine. So probably the week of the 18th, 19th, something like that. We'll know something. If we have a public appearance, we do a meet and greet or something just to get to talk to all you wonderful Americans, man. I'd love to do that. So if we can make that happen, we're going to make that happen. There's going to be a lot of Oktoberfest stuff going on. And we usually make an appearance at the Hofbrauer house. So we may let everybody know about that.
Got to find out when they're tapping the keg.
We caught that a couple times ago.
Yes, we have.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Boy, they really get into that. That was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, buddy.
So anyway, again, brought to you by the Firearms Training Notebook. 1% better every day. We talk about it all the time. We really believe in it. It's a great product. Get it on the websites or you get it on Amazon. Again, go to warhog.com. Go to kellydefense.com. Sign up for those newsletters. We're starting to get pretty good about getting those things out regularly. There's a lot of good information on it. Sometimes there's a lot of different stuff on there, but you got the industry partners of the month in there. You have the updates and some photos from the Project Officer Survival stuff. That'll certainly be happening too. And I think we're going to do some live shows from the ATK9 this year. We've done one, I think, every year. We've done at least something where we interviewed. I think one time we had Dutch out there. I'm sure he'll be behind the mic. He's always a fan favorite. Always great to talk to that guy. Yeah. So yeah, man. Law enforcement officers that haven't signed up for the ATK9, atk9.org, I believe, is the website. Go ahead and sign up for it if you haven't already done it. I mean, I don't know what it's going to be available. I don't know if they still have spots, but K9 officer. I have no idea.
I don't know. Because I know Spikes. So initially Spikes offered 5 slots. Those filled. I think they bumped it up to 9 or 10. So I don't know where they're sitting at with slots. All right. So we've got nothing to do with controlling the overall ATK9 registration. But chances are, if you sign up now, truth be told, I doubt you'll get into the one-handed shooting for the K9 officer. I just don't think it's going to be there. But I could be wrong.
Yeah, but I don't know. But I mean, I know there's a few spots left for the LEO stuff for the 2 rifle days that Rick and I are doing, 21st and 23rd.
Yep, those are
open websites.
Yeah, and here's the deal: even if you're going to ATK9, if you want to burn an extra day on the backside and come out Saturday, I mean, we're about an hour away from Muscatatuck, right? Man, come out and train. Boom. If you want to. Not saying you can't. It's not just going to be. We can't just sit there and go, oh, you're a LEO, you can't attend. Dude, we've had mixed LEOs and civilians in our open enrollments. So, come on out.
Open enrollment. Yeah.
That's it.
All right, buddy. Let's do it again. You want to go ahead and close it out?
Of course, man. You guys know the drill. You guys train hard, stay safe, and we'll see you on the range.
On the Range Podcast.